So if you shampoo twice a week, you're doing a hair mask like once a month.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
yeah, that's kind of my rule of thumb that I suggest to clients and what I do for my own hair.
Welcome back to Keep It Good. I'm your host, Carly.
And I'm your host, Emily. Today, we are going to talk about all things hair, everything from products to vitamins to styling and what you need to do all those things.
I'm so excited to learn. You know me, I'm all into trying out natural remedies and all the things. So I had been really interested in this banana hair mask. Apparently, banana is so good for curing breakage, hydration, shine, dandruff. And so we added egg to it. And right now it's on our head. So we are wearing it, and we will take a quick pause halfway through to rinse it out and let you know what our thoughts are on this little DIY hair mask we have going on.
Yeah. I have actually never done a at home make your own hair mask before, but
Yeah, me neither.
I said to Carly, let's give it a go. Let's try it.
I mean, these are products you have in your house already, a banana and
Right.
egg, super simple. It was not that simple, though, applying it. It seemed a little messy,
Yeah. But to be
sticky.
honest, like I've never wanted to use like mayonnaise or
I
I don't
know.
know, coconut oil. Like I feel like it would just get hardened. I don't know. So we're giving it a go. We're going to try and we'll let you guys know if this is a good idea or a bad one.
Yeah, it could go either way. So far, it smells great, but it looks like I have baby vomit on my hair. So,
Looks a little weird, but we'll see.
yeah, never know until you try, right? So, while this sets, let's get into some basics, Emily. Get me ready. Let's pretend I'm going out tonight, okay?
Okay.
Get me ready, start to finish. We'll start with the basics. I'm in the shower. What do I do?
So, I mean, let's start with I think so many of us have been taught, don't wash your hair every day, which I definitely agree with. You don't want to wash your hair too much because the natural oils that your scalp produces, that's good for your hair. It's good for the hair shaft. It can be beneficial for the scalp, but I think we've also gone way too far where like people go way too long. And then the scalp is gross. People end up with dandruff. They're using dry shampoo and it can just cause a lot of buildup. And then people aren't shampooing enough. So their hair still feels kind of yucky.
If you don't shower, wouldn't that kind of cause a risk of microbial growth?
Yeah. Yes, it
you know,
can. Yes. And
Let of
people's
bugs
heads
and
get
stuff.
itchy. And I mean, it's
Yeah.
nice to not have to wash your hair all the time because obviously we know that it takes a while to style it. But in the same breath, people who have issues like dandruff or psoriasis should really be washing their hair a little bit more. I like to tell people, 2 to 3 times a week is probably ideal. So sometimes, give your hair maybe an extra shampoo a week. If you're only doing once, you probably need two. If you're doing two, maybe try three, see if that helps if you are having any scalp issues. Also, if you're going a long time in between washing, one shampoo might not do it for you. Like your scalp and your hair might not get fully clean. So a lot of times people will wear their hair up too, like day 3, day 4, day 5, if they're really going a long time. And so we can get really oily at the crown of the head or the nape of the neck. And sometimes we need a little more shampoo to really cleanse that area. So the scalp might feel clean. You're getting a lot of suds from the shampoo, but I also suggest doing 2 shampoos to make sure that the hair is really clean. And then obviously conditioning.
Yeah, I remember you teaching me that a few years ago, and I haven't stopped because it really did make a difference washing it twice versus the typical one that, you grow up learning about. The two really gets everything.
Yeah,
It
well,
was a
think
great
about it
trick.
too. When you were learning to wash your hair back then, everyone was washing their hair pretty much daily, maybe every other day, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I do recommend the 2 shampoos for most people because, again, nowadays everybody goes a lot longer. So, you're going to shampoo 2 times, and it doesn't have to be a ton of shampoo. You don't need to waste your product. You can use less than what you used the first time because you've kind of lifted the debris up and then the second shampoo is going to definitely remove it all. And then, of
Definitely.
course, you're going to condition. If you are into hair masks, like in the shower hair masks, that's not something you want to do every time you shampoo either. A lot of times that can be too much for the hair, and a lot of hair masks these days have protein in them, and too much protein can be damaging to the hair actually. The hair is made of protein, but too much can be bad too, especially if you have a keratin treatment on, like a smoothing treatment, which a lot of people do these days, and that can actually cause some breakage. So you got to be careful about what is actually in your product too. And hopefully your hairstylist is educated on all that and can help you choose what's best for your hair type. But with hair masks, I suggest doing them like every 4 to 8 shampoos. So if you shampoo twice a week, you're doing a hair mask like once a month.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of my rule of thumb that I suggest to clients and what I do for my own hair. So you're gonna do that in the shower. Shampoo, condition, if you mask, maybe once a month. And then you're gonna get out and towel dry. I also tell people that your conditioner should be rinsed out like pretty well. I know it feels really soft and nice and shiny, like it's gonna feel so good, but it should feel like it's rinsed out. You don't want your hair to be slimy when you get out.
So let's do 2 scenarios, okay? Tonight, let's say I'm going out and I wanna look great, and I'm gonna blow dry my hair, right? So, is there something that I put in, immediately out of the shower, like a
Yes.
serum or something?
So because I want you to rinse out your conditioner well enough, I also tell all my clients that the conditioner should be rinsed out enough that you need to use a leave-in conditioner also. It's just like an insurance policy. So before I even comb my hair, I put in my leave-in conditioner. I personally use a cream, but a lot of them come in spray form, and you're gonna spray that all over and then comb out your hair. It gives the brush, comb, whatever you're using, a little more slip to get through the hair. So it helps with,
Oh.
knots you might have or something. And of course, don't spray it at your roots. It should be, more towards your mid shaft and ends. Don't think, oh, I don't really need it. You should, especially if you have long hair. That hair's old. It's been on your head for years.
Yeah. And I always thought that I always considered that like a hair mask, so you, like, put it on and go to bed type thing.
And it's not going to weigh your hair down if you're using the conditioner and the leave in properly.
Okay.
Yeah, I think people get worried about that. Like, I'm going to look greasy if I do too much. Well, if you're
Yeah.
spraying it on your roots, you might. And if you're not rinsing out your conditioner, you might look greasy, you know? So
Yeah.
rinse everything well. I'm talking like if it's a spray, maybe 6, 7 sprays. Again, just mid shaft and ends. Hair grows roughly 6 inches a year, give or take, depending on the person. So if your hair is, to your boobs, like that's been on there a couple years. That hair needs
Mm.
extra care.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So leave-in conditioner, and then if you're gonna blow dry, like you're going out, I always suggest a blowout cream. A lot of them do have a thermal protectant in them, which is great now because that gets rid of another product you have to add. But if your blowout cream does not, then I also suggest a thermal protectant, which again can come in a spray form or a cream. If you're gonna use any kind of heated products, blow dryer round brush, a heated round brush, curling iron, crimper, flat iron, you should really have a thermal protectant in your products.
Now I have these, like, root tonics and volume tonics that I got from, like, I don't even know the brand, but those are okay to put in with this leave-in conditioner and the blowout.
Yep. So I always do leave-in conditioner, then I put in my blowout cream, and then I usually do if I'm going to use any kind of root lift on myself or a client. That's kind of the last thing I use. A root
Oh, okay.
lift, maybe a little bit of mousse or a gel, depending on the person. I do that kind of as the last piece. So all those things that are going to give shine and health to my hair, I put those in first. It's like a layering process.
Yeah, okay. I've been doing it wrong, so good to know.
It happens, and there's so many products out there, and I think we love our products, and it's hard. You could have like, I mean, obviously, I have a plethora of products because that's my job, that's my jam, But I personally like to stick with the root lifting products as my last product to apply.
Okay. Is there such thing as too many products? Like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah, again, depending on what you're wanting from your hair, I think you don't need to put in 18 products. But,
Yeah.
your basics leave in a blowout cream and a root lift. thermal protected. That's normal for, I would say, most people to be using. And of course, you can overdo the product. So you don't want to put too much. You have to kind of know your hair, and that, depending on the person and if they have fine hair or thick hair, would depend on how much you need to use. So that would be something I would talk about with your stylist if you're having problems.
Yeah. That's why I'm talking with you right now.
Yeah, you can definitely put too much, and then it could be hard for you to actually get the brush through your hair. And then you could cause, pulling and some breaking if you have, too much root lift gel or something if you're looking for volume.
All right. So say I just blew out my hair, right?
Mhm.
What should I be putting in like now as like a finishing? What's the best kind of things to make it not look frizzy or, dry, give it a little
Yes.
extra shine or I don't
Yeah.
know.
I love an oil. There is shine sprays, which typically are pretty potent. So you want to be careful. Like, I have an aerosol shine spray that I use, and I actually spray it on my hands and then I put it on my hair
Oh,
because,
that's
like,
a
the
good
actual
idea.
spray itself can be a lot. And I do have thick hair, it's textured. So I do definitely need it, but you can, that's a product that could definitely be used too heavy. And then you're kind of screwed. You can't take it back once it's
Yeah.
on there. And a lot of the oils, like Moroccan oil, or I mean, a lot of companies now have their own oil. A little goes a long way. A lot of them will say they can be used on wet and dry hair. But personally, I like the oil on dry hair.
Okay.
Oil and water, typically we know that they don't really mix well. And I find that even on my clients, when oils first became a thing, we would put them on people's hair, obviously wet. So they were on there while we blow dried, which it feels great, but it's still like on my hands as I'm putting it on the client's hair. So what I found is if I use it after, or, if I had to stop the blow dry and kind of put a little bit on, depending on their hair type, like mid blow dry, that helps better. The hair can really absorb it better.
Oh, that's true. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
so, like, for my own hair, like I said, it's my hair is very textured and thick, a little bit coarse. So I put all my products in that I want for that day of styling, and then I get my hair probably 95% dry. So I get the roots dry, I blow out my front section, bang area around my ears because I have some crazy cowlicks, and then I flip my head upside down, I rough dry it with a paddle brush, get it somewhat smooth, as smooth as I can, and then I'll put some oil in. That's when I'll go through and section my hair and use like a hot airbrush and kind of round it and perfect the styling of it. And it makes it so soft because I have the oil in then. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to start doing that.
So that's my tip that I, obviously tell my clients. I feel like that is just the best. Also, a little pro tip too that I love, and people who do it swear by it, just a speck of oil every day. So whether you have a pump, I mean, maybe half a pump, if it's a bottle and you tip it upside down, like whatever's on your palm, when you tip it back up, just a little bit on your ends every day in between will do wonders for your ends, like help with breakage. It's amazing. I love it. It adds shine and it just kind of nourishes the hair.
Yeah, because I've gone a very long time this round without getting a haircut. So I'm sure I have like a tremendous amount of split ends. I have to schedule a haircut. How many times should you get your haircut? Because it's been since like, I don't know, September. Really
Yeah,
too
I mean,
long.
it's again very personal. It depends on what you're doing with your hair. Do you just need like a trim? Are you growing it out from something different? Do you have color or bleach in your hair? It's really dependent. So, if I have clients who come every 4 weeks, a lot of times we won't trim every 4 weeks. So, I'll have them skip, so they get haircuts every 8 weeks. If you have virgin hair and no color added to it, you could go 3 months, 4 months. Depends on the style, really. If you have short hair, obviously you're going to come more often because that shape can get long and things can get out of whack.
Yeah, I think I'm due.
Yeah. Or, I mean, as a stylist myself, I maybe get a haircut 3 times a year. It's not very often. We don't take care of ourselves like we should. It's like, oh my God, can you trim my hair dry really quick? Do you have anybody right now? It's like, you don't.
I feel like that's the case with any career, right? Like the nurses are the most unhealthy, or the shoemaker's kids never have shoes. Like the
Yeah.
hairdresser's hair is never done properly.
Oh, yeah,
It's
girl.
like,
I'm doing my roots in the bathroom usually,
yeah,
like my own hair.
yeah. Well, it's funny you bring up hair dye. Here I was, you know, thinking I'm going to save money doing my own hair dye. And wouldn't you know, I need to buy a whole new vanity now because as careful as I try and be in my bathroom, I have ruined the vanity with like spots of hair dye. And you don't even
Yeah.
realize that it hit it until, 3 hours later. And you're like,
It
what?
oxidizes and it's black everywhere.
Yeah. So, I was trying to be good and save money and I ruined my vanity top.
Yeah.
So,
No, it happens. I believe me, I know. Another thing about washing, I'll say this quick too. I tell my clients who have gray hair, a lot of people come to the salon thinking like, "Oh, my hair's dirty. I'm not going to wash it because I'm getting it done," which I totally understand. And I don't want people to have to go through the hassle of doing their hair. But I tell my clients with gray hair, I want you to come with clean hair. I don't want any powder in it, any spray. Even if you come to me, I mean, every stylist might say something different, but even if you come to me with damp hair, I'll rough dry it for a couple minutes, but I want it clean so that color really covers well and how it should. Because when people come with 4 or 5 days of oily buildup, they've worked out, like I said, and sweat a couple times. They have powder to cover the grays because they had a meeting. Like the color's not going to be able to break through all that. So
yeah,
clean hair
that's,
too, when you go to a stylist, they will thank you. Highly recommend.
yeah, that makes total sense when you think about it. It's
Yeah,
not
I
going to
don't know.
grab onto anything.
The dirty hair thing just really got a little too wild.
Yeah. Speaking of though, we're gonna take a quick, tiny break, wash out this hair mask, and then we're gonna tell you all about it. Hopefully, really
Yay!
great news. So just hang on, real quick. We'll be right back. Okay. Okay. So thankfully for editing, because that took about 45 minutes.
Oh my God.
And that was not cool. That was that was an experience. It did not go well.
It did not
I
go
mean,
well.
holy shit. What? I don't okay, we'll see what happens. Like, we didn't blow dry it or anything, but oh my god. I
Holy
rinsed it out.
chunks.
Yeah, whole
Holy
chunks.
chunks.
Uh, I still have chunks in my hair. It's,
Yeah.
like, never ending. And then get this, right before we rinse it out, I read, "Use lukewarm so you don't cook the egg," and I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't even think about that." Like, the hot water could actually cook the egg. I might have I might have had, a little bit of fried egg on my hair right now. I don't know.
It's maybe
It
a little scrambly in our hair right now. Maybe
Yeah.
we should have blended it, like, in a blender. I don't know. Maybe we didn't read it right.
Maybe.
Well
Yeah, it
well,
looks
I
it looks
mean,
like I have lice right now, to be
I think
honest,
we're
like
gonna
little
have to
nit.
rewash and blow out and then let people know, but that maybe wasn't our finest, hour
Experiment.
there.
No,
Yeah.
that was quite a
Well,
freaking job,
with a fine-tooth
and I
comb, thank God you had that.
yeah, the fine tooth comb really came in handy because I mean, I washed my hair twice already, and I can still see chunks of banana. So, I don't know, I mean, hopefully, I don't wake up with moldy, rotten food in my hair trying to get it to be shiny, but I mean,
Right
I
now, it's
I
a 0 out of 10.
I'd say a
Maybe a
1,
2.
maybe a 1. Yeah, okay, 2 is generous, but that was a freaking process, guys. I don't know if I will do that again. Watch, it's like the
I'll let you know
best
when we
thing we've
try
ever
it.
done. We get like a million compliments, like, "Your hair looks great." I'm like, "Shit, now I have to do this freaking banana process." It was not cool. Not cool at all. We'll
If it
see if
works,
we'd
we'll
recommend
send out
it.
the recipe.
Yeah. It's basically 1 egg and 1 banana, and here's hoping.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so,
Alright.
regroup, back on track.
Yes.
Alright, so say okay, so right now, right, my hair's
Mhm.
wet. I'm not gonna blow dry it. So what can I put in it to make it not frizzy, to air dry?
Okay, so kind of the same leave-in conditioner, comb it out, Some companies do make air dry cream now, which is kind of cool. Some people love it, some people don't. I don't notice a difference in my hair with an air dry cream. Personally, I've tried a couple brands. Um, I honestly use blowout cream if I'm gonna let my hair air dry. I don't have curly hair, but it's wavy. Curl cream is a little too thick and can leave my hair a little crispy, which I don't love. So I'll use a blowout cream and sometimes even a thermal protectant again, because tomorrow I might throw the crimper in my hair. So if I can find a way to like redo it or revamp what I have, I'm using heat. So I'm not going to put typically a thermal protectant or a blowout cream or something in my dry hair. So I have it always on my head just in case
That's
I.
genius. I never thought of it that way. Yeah. Okay.
So that's personally what I do. And that works out good for me. Again, even if it's air dried and I have it like in a low bun or something for 2, 3 days, I will still put that drop of oil. And I'm telling you, you guys got to try that. That's one of my favorite tips.
I'm definitely getting down with the oil for sure. Now, I know I said in previous episodes that I go to bed with wet hair. Is there like an okay way to do that? Like, what's the best hairstyle to like help me out? Make me feel like it's okay.
Help,
Cause
yes.
yeah. What's the best hairstyle to sleep in? Can I go to bed with a hair mask on?
All
Like
right,
all
let's
of
start
that.
with going to bed with wet hair.
Okay.
One of the best would be a braid to sleep in, like a loose braid, if your hair's
Okay.
long enough for that, because it won't rub on your pillow. It kind of keeps the hair a little tame. And that goes for people with extensions too. If your hair is dry, like it is good to sleep in like a loose braid so it doesn't get too tangly or anything like that. Um, A loose bun would be fine as well. You kind of just, we're trying to just tame it while you sleep. So I've even done like, flip my head upside down, kind of done like a little ballerina bun on top of my head. You know, those
Okay.
elastics that look like phone cords?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, those are some of my favorite because they don't leave a mark in the hair. And it's soft. It's gentle. It's not too tight. And so those are good to use too if you're going to go to bed with wet hair. Obviously, you can go to bed and let it be wild and crazy.
But it's
Like I
gonna
said,
look wild and crazy
yeah,
when you
like
wake up.
I have wavy hair, so sometimes I will just do that. I'm typically not like soaking wet going to bed, but that will give me like a little bit of body so that then in the morning I can crimp it or throw some curls in it to make it look like I did it on purpose.
Can you go to sleep with a hair mask on?
Yes, depending on the hair mask that you're using, absolutely. Again, I wouldn't suggest sleeping in a hair mask that has protein in it. Even just a good conditioner, you want to sleep in that? Absolutely. Again, throw it in a braid, loose bun, and I would do the hair masks on dry hair so the hair really can kind of
Oh,
soak it up. And
okay.
then have that next morning be the day you're going to wash your hair.
Okay.
So you'll wash it out in the morning and just shampoo, condition like normal.
Okay. Now I've heard things like silk pillowcase or even like a head wrap for
Mhm.
sleeping. Do you think that's necessary or is there benefits or pros, cons? Like what's your take on that?
I would say there's no cons at all. A silk pillowcase is great. Think about it like slip. Your head's gonna glide. If you're like a crazy sleeper, your hair is gonna be nice and smooth right against it. So if you don't have any problems with your hair being crazy or breakage or anything like that, I don't think you necessarily need one, but they're totally wonderful to have. If you can sleep in a silk bonnet, amazing. Some people aren't comfortable in them, but they make them so wonderful now and they're breathable. So you're not sweaty. It's just more the comfort of having something on your head if you're not used to it. But they're great. And a lot of these products these days are not expensive. Like you can get them right on Amazon. One of our set of sheets, we have bamboo sheets, and it kind of is like silk, silk pillowcase. So that's been great too. Like I don't have to change my pillowcase when we are using those ones. Um, I've never slept in a bonnet, but I know people who do, and their hair has changed drastically. Like it's so nice, especially if you're a bleached highlight or a balayage or pretty blonde, can do wonders. The hair's brittle when you have a lot of bleach in it. So silk pillowcase or a wrap or a bonnet is amazing.
I might try the bonnet because I
Mm,
have brittle hair even though
yeah.
I'm brunette.
Yeah. I
Oh,
mean, and like I've said, I think this is the third time I'm saying it, but same, my hair's coarse. But I've just never used it. I'm
okay.
sure it would be great for my hair.
I look like Little House on the Prairie. It's really gonna Steve's gonna be like,
Yeah,
"Hey."
but your hair will be shiny and amazing. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love a silk pillowcase. I think that's a great idea.
Good, 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 good. Speaking of dyed hair again, how long do I go? Like, cause me, I have gray hair and I have dark hair. So I've been noticing like every 3 weeks, it looks like I have to redo it. Like, what's your suggestion on, how long should you be waiting in between hair dyes and or what is the shortest amount of time safe to do hair dye?
Again, each stylist might say something different, but I like to try and keep people at like 3 to 4 weeks. Like, I don't love to do a 2 week. It is a lot of chemicals. It works, it's fine. Some people who are really, really white, they can, you can see your gray hair in 2 weeks for sure. But it is a lot of chemicals on the body and your scalp does take them in. It's your skin's your biggest organ. And I think a lot of people don't think about their scalp as skin, but it is.
Yeah.
It's just covered by hair. So anything you
Yes.
put on there, shampoo, everything, you really want to check on your products. I know that there are some lines that claim to be organic or very, very clean, and I am totally behind that. But I haven't done a lot of research on it, but there's something else in there that's, maybe they're not using peroxide, but what is the
What is
ingredient
the
that they're using
Yeah,
to lift the hair? So
yeah,
again, I can't really talk to that because I don't know too much about it. But the color companies have come a long way in removing products that are very dangerous. But yeah, I try to push people to 4 if they can do it.
yeah,
Um, some people will use, like I mentioned before, there's special powders and sprays that we can use to kind of cover up those spots for the last week or two. If you have to go out or you have, something for work or an event, and they really do work amazing to cover the hair.
yeah.
And a lot of them, like even if you got your hair wet, you were in the pool or you got stuck in the rain, it's not gonna like drip down your face. They really won't come out unless you shampoo. And that's why I always suggest that my clients come in with clean hair because if they do use those powders, it's not coming off their hair unless they actually wash it out. And I don't have time to wash their hair and then color it. But yeah, I would say 4 weeks is what I suggest. I go 4 weeks for my hair typically, and like it shows. But if I can push it to 5, I don't have anything to do and I don't care who's seen it, then I go as long as I can.
Yeah. I've been kind of pushing myself unless it's like an event or, a wedding or somewhere, then
Yeah.
I'll make sure it's definitely but yeah, those powders absolutely work. They're so
Yeah. And
great.
this is for people with gray hair. If you don't have gray hair, I mean, the lived in, quote unquote, lived in looks right now are so popular because people can get months out of their hair color. The highlights aren't typically to the root. We do these blending techniques now where, maybe in 8 or 10 weeks, you want a couple highlights around the face, but everything just grows out so nice. So it just depends on if you have gray hair or not, really, how often you have to be coming.
Alright, so what about, like is there anything that I could take to make my hair grow or, I feel like ever since I had kids, my hair has just been, like, totally just a whole other entity, It's like my hair before kids, my hair after kids. What are, like, vitamins or supplements? I started that, uh, Live Conscious collagen.
Mhm.
I love it. It tastes
Yep.
amazing. You got me hooked on that.
Yep. Yeah, I think collagen is huge. It's really great hair, skin, and nails. So a lot of the things that are good for your hair, vitamin wise, are also good for other parts of your body. Your hair, skin, and nails is made up of protein, so the collagen is great because you get a little bit of extra protein with that too. So I think the one most people know is biotin. Obviously, that's just like
Yeah.
the main one people think about when they think about their hair and health. I mean, basic, a good multivitamin, like a real good multivitamin, because it's going to have all the essential things that you need. But just some basic vitamins that are good for hair would be biotin, iron, collagen, omega 3. If you're having problems with brittleness, I would say, up your water, which Carly has been doing, everybody, but
I have it.
up your water hydration is huge. If you are feeling like you are having hair loss, which is common and people come in with that problem, once we get to a certain age too, I always suggest getting some blood work because something's going on. If that's not your normal, something's up. And it could be as simple as that you're just deficient in a vitamin, but I always suggest blood work and like a thyroid panel because the
Yeah.
thyroid has a lot to do with your hair. And there's a bunch of tests within thyroid testing. So just make sure the doctor does an extensive test because your levels might look okay, but like if they dug a little deeper, you might be off in your T3 or T4.
Yeah.
Um, so I definitely tell people to do that, and most people, are well aware of that. Some people go to the dermatologist. I think just your basic doctor is a little bit better, just because you can get maybe some more blood work written up.
Yeah. Well, I remember
So
too, like even stress or something
yeah,
traumatic could
hmm
make you lose your hair. And it might not be sudden. It could be a few months later, all of a
oh yeah,
sudden
it
you're
could take
losing
up
your
to
hair.
7 months. Seven
Yeah.
months, yeah, is what they say for that to kind of come out. And you might forget, like, I don't know why I'm losing my hair. And then it's like, oh, yeah, but you had that terrible car accident or, you lost a parent and it might have been, you know, 5 months ago
Yeah.
or 4 months ago. Um, or it could happen very soon after a stressful thing, a surgery. We have clients who will, like I said, have a surgery and, their hair just feels kind of yucky, but anesthesia will do a number on
Yeah.
people too. So there's a lot of factors that you have to take in. But yeah, I definitely recommend, you got to take care of yourself
Yeah.
and be your biggest advocate. So get to the doctor, get some blood work, and sometimes that plays a role in a lot of things.
Yeah. And if you're into taking the collagen or anything like that, I am totally obsessed. It goes hand in hand with my layered coffee. Like it's got 19 amino acids. It's good for your bones, your skin,
Yeah.
your hair, your nails. It's incredible.
Yeah. People like put it in anything. You could make muffins with it. Like you could really throw the
Yeah, it's
collagen in
so
a lot of
good.
things, which is pretty cool. A little boost of protein.
So good.
So I also, back to scalp health, my dermatologist who do have some psoriasis on my scalp, which is not fun. But one thing that they told me, and I thought I'd share because I think a lot of people deal with dandruff or, itchy scalp or something uncomfortable. And that's never fun to feel like you have flakes in your hair. That they had told me, and I do share this with clients. Of course, it depends on the products that you're using. You might have to switch up, what's going on. But if you're running into a problem with anything scalp health wise, they had suggested it's kind of just like a basic rule of thumb. So the three shampoos, these are store bought, like you can get them at CVS grocery store. Head and Shoulders, because it has zinc in it. Neutrogena tea gel, which smells terrible, but it does work. It has tar in it. And then Selsun Blue has sulfur. And those three things are really great if you have a flare up of dandruff or psoriasis, eczema, anything like that on your scalp. And so, what I would do is I would rotate through those with still using my good quality, salon products, but like once a week or once every other week, depending on how often I was shampooing, I would use these products and it helped so much. So I would like buy Head and Shoulders, go through the bottle, then I'd buy the Neutrogena tea gel, go through that bottle, Seltz Blue, So it'd take months, but it really did help with scalp health. So if you can't get to a dermatologist, but you're having these issues, I do recommend that. If you're blonde, the Neutrogena tea gel probably wouldn't be great because it is brown. So
Hmm.
the other shampoos would be fine. A list of products too. I wanted to go for just a few products and a little fun app that I have. So some of the products we use in my salon anyway, which are great, and I ran them through this specific app. It's called the Yuka app, Yuka. I got it for like groceries so I could look at different products and what was in them for my family. And they have a beauty side to it. Now, too, I do pay for the app. Think I think it's like $7.99 a month so that I can just type in whatever I want to look up. So even if I'm not at a store, I can just type in anything, kind of see what's in it. There's also, you don't have to pay for it. And then it would just be like a scanner. Like you could scan the barcodes and it will give you
Love it.
information on the
Yeah.
product and or food. So this goes for both. Um, so The products that we use at the salon right now, I ran them through the Yuka app, and these are all, ranked good. There's some that are excellent, but we'll rank them like excellent, good, bad, very bad. And it's like a scale from 0 to 100, so you can kind of see. But my salon is a chair rental salon, so everyone is independent there. But these are some of the products that we use: Wella, Monat, K18, Color Wow, Milkshake, Moroccan Oil, Redken, and Kerastase. So these ones seem to be ranked pretty well in there. So that's good to know too, because like I said, your skin is your biggest organ. So your scalp is part of that. And I don't think people fully get that. You think it's just like, oh, it's just my hair. It's just on the ends,
Yeah. Yeah.
No, because it's going in near your brain in your
Yeah.
head. So yeah. So just be, cautious if you're interested in certain products and what, the ingredients are and stuff. That Yuka app is awesome. I highly
Love
recommend
it.
that too. Yeah.
Great.
So,
Great.
but I don't know, is that good? That's
You got me ready, and I look great, except for my banana flakes. We're gonna have.
Well, girl, I got them too. You're gonna have to help me.
I know. So we gotta go to get this third wash
We gotta
in to get
shampoo
these out,
again.
but
Yeah.
hopefully it's gonna be the best treatment we've ever used. It was just a little difficult to get out.
Yeah, no kidding. If you guys have any questions, DM us on Instagram.
Yes, follow us on Instagram. We are at keep_it good. And we'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, any topics really that you are interested in and you want to hear more of, let us know.
Okay, I have a quote for us. It says, "Take good care of your hair. After all, you wear it every day."
Yes, you do.
True, right? You wear it every
It's true.
day. It's your crown you never take off.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a good hair day, you're having a stellar day, right?
It's so
Like,
true. Hopefully, you'll have more good hair days
yeah,
with a few
I can have
tips.
every day be a good hair day. I'm excited. Thank you for all of your information today. I hope you guys learned something
You're very
new.
welcome.
And we'll let you know how this banana thing ends up. But so far, not so good. Anyway, we hope you have a great week and keep it good.